Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account 58-56. As you can see, it's getting very crowded in the chapter. 58 is getting a lot of different players in here, a lot of different guildies in here. We're going to continue through here making some more progression. That way, not only are we farming out chests out of here, but we are also looking at our elemental cores and a couple other substance that we do get out of finishing the chapters, including the Stargazer scrolls. Now, we do know that on Tuesday, we are getting those brand new heroes. So we are getting the twins up for light bearers, which of course means it seems like effectiveness wise, they're not super effective within the game. However, it seems like boss modes and of course, Cursed Realm Nightmare Corridor, they're going to have a lot of utility because they add a big damage buffer on there. So we got Zothamus here. We have It's Beans, Danjay, Brian, and Akadel is here as well. Let's go ahead. We're going to run through our dailies like we do every time. Haven't had a chance to actually log in. I've been farming out the towers. And again, we stress this kind of every time that we go through this, is going through and really stressing out the towers or really building out and making progression in those towers makes a big difference. We'll hop in here. We'll do some summons as well. See if we have anyone in our friends list that is past our 2-day cutoff, which Dark Blaine and Jerry is right there at 1 day. So we have no one at 2 days. What is going on? Yoshi, Blue Crimson is here as well. Jeff and Lindsay, thank you guys for joining us for the live stream. So we're going to go ahead. In the mail, we also did get a couple different things, including, if you've seen leaderboard rewards, that is right. We got our legendary treasure badge. We ended at 49. We have really been pushing it a lot, but we got into 49, which of course is going to yield us a lot more resources out of here, which is what we're looking, including 3,700 diamonds. We have 25 emblem chests, some tier 4. So we got back into the under 50 within there. Then of course, just a lot of diamonds, got some more badges out of there. So very cool to see. This is the first time in a long time that we've actually made the progression and got to under 50 in there, which was the very last day where we actually went to 50. Then I seen it drop to 49 within a couple minutes. Then it concluded, so it was completely done. What is going on, Moneymaker? Y'all is here as well. It's a hot minute since I caught you live. Well, thank you for joining us for the live stream. We're gonna go through here. I wanna run through again. We'll knock out our dailies really quick. Just making sure that you do this. And I believe I also did the bounty board. So we caught up on these bounty boards. I actually just popped them open last night. But looking here again, we ended 49. We'll go through some of the heroes of Espria. We've been doing really well in there. I think I farmed it out a little bit last night because I didn't want to miss any of it. But overall, we're trying to push to Masters. It just takes an incredible amount of time to actually get up to Masters, but you want to get the loot. Now, once you do hit Masters, it is locked in. You're not going to get pushed down out of Masters. That is the reason why we really stress pushing Masters. Now, if you notice, I went up floors in the Tower of Light. I went up floors in the Brutal Citadel. Both of these are still maxed out. So we're waiting to see a patch, which unfortunately, it is not this patch that we're adding more to the Celestial Sanctum and the Infernal Fortress. So that means possibly another 2 weeks before we see some more floors within the King's Tower. And then, of course, in the Floor of Light, I believe maybe since we got past that 1180, I think maybe 1200 might be the top. I was trying to find exactly where the top of the Tower of Light is, but we've been getting there. What is going on, Marco? Who should I get? Awaken Belinda or Athalia? Because I'm stuck with you. Personally, I like Athalia. Now, both of them, of course, tons of utility in a bunch of different game modes, Jeff. But the big thing with the difference between Belinda and Athalia is relatively newer. So I don't know, and Belinda might still be in there for a long time. But overall, I like Athalia over Belinda. Probably over the last 2 years, it kind of swapped a little bit. But I do like the build out, and I do like how Athalia works. And of course, utility-wise, both of those are huge. And what is going on, Pluto? Thank you for joining us. We're going to figure out the viewer summons on there. I don't know what's going on with it. Tried a bunch of different ways to get in there to actually check it out. But I will see what is going on with it, Pluto. We'll figure it out. And again, the only thing I could think in there was Apple. Stop. What's new? What is the new goal? Will you get the new hero? So the big thing, Apollinaire, and this is where, again, a lot of players are kind of in question when it comes to the new hero, is the effectiveness of the new hero. Because as of right now, at a base level, so having like a plus 30 signature item in there is going to yield you a little bit of a boost to damage, which that alone, Apollinaire, seems like it is going to be more than enough to warrant building up that hero. But also, does that mean that we only need the signature item at, getting them up to Mythic? Or does it mean we're going to have to go a little bit further? Now, of course, whale builds, or to really be competitive, It seems like, again, Lilith has kind of figured out and fine-tuned this, but it seems like we're at the point where the new heroes are going to be required for a couple different game modes because of how they're built and because of the damage factor that they're bringing in there, where if they're adding, and they do add a plus 60% damage to your entire team with a 40 signature item, which essentially means you're going to be stuck building them at that plus 40 signature item if you want to be competitive in a lot of game modes, because that is going to maximize the damage that they have going on. What's going on, Amari? One copy away from one starring Chimera. Yes, and Shady is here as well. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, one copy away from one starring Chimera. Have to do that, Jeff. Absolutely, completely required. When it comes to those Awakened Heroes, guys, you got to build them out, and you got to build them out in their entirety. Now, I'm hoping on this one we can actually go through here. I want to knock out some summons first, then we'll go into the campaign, answer some questions that you guys have. But again, I love going in here. I want to farm up all of these. Now, I'm saving my diamonds to see if we're going to go ahead and build out those new heroes. It's going to take, again, a little bit of time to see where they're exactly effective. But it seems, again, a couple different places that we're going to find them, and we're going to find them on a regular basis, which I think is going to be those boss fights. Can someone help me? I don't know which Awakened hero I should get. I have Leica and Athalia. Honestly, you can probably wait, Yoshi, and see exactly where we're going to see the next heroes. Right now, it depends kind of what you're building it for. Because effectiveness, the Awakened version of Lucius, the Awakened version of Belinda are both doing incredibly well within the performance. The Awakened version of Chimera is another one that does exceptionally well in a lot of different game modes. So again, you could kind of go either one. So a way to do it, Yoshi, is you might want to save some cards, maybe get, 300-400 cards saved up, and then go ahead and build whoever you want to. It's just going to make a difference on who you have built and who you do have access to in a bunch of different game modes. Because essentially, if you can go in there and you can borrow the Awakened version of Chimera for what she is used for in a bunch of different game modes, that's going to make a big difference in there. And what's going on, Carol? Thank you for joining us. I love her. She's, such a good carry with Athalia. My poor Lucretia is getting gutted. Oh, first engraving. Yeah, and that's what happens, Marco. So a lot of the older heroes, because I did the same one. We did the engraving reset. I reset Ainz. I actually had Ainz over the 35. So what I'm also thinking is, because of the swap, is looking at a couple that I do have at a 35. So actually built up a little bit further. Similar to what you're seeing right there with Lucretia, which a lot of players have done that same thing, have done the reset on there. I'm probably going to end up doing the exact same thing with Ainz. Now, also remember with the dimensional heroes, you have the ability to buy the signature items. So you actually have the ability to buy those emblems of space with the red chest out of the shop, which again, a lot of players are saying to swap some of the signature items we have here to other celestial or hypo heroes. But ultimately, I'm going to have someone to swap. So looking again kind of at my heroes, looking at possibly Hendrik, possibly Sonia, a couple different ones that I could swap to the new light bearer that we have coming out, just based on the build and where I have them. Again, utility wise, there's a lot that we're not building them. How do I get dimensional heroes? If you don't have any of the dimensional heroes, there are quite a few that you can actually get out of the shop. The other way to get the dimensional heroes is the garrison shop. These are all of your dimensional heroes right here, Omari. That you can actually get. Of course, you do have to spend resources to pick them up, but this is where you get the dimensional heroes are out of the shop. Are you friends with Echo? Somewhat, Jeff. I know we've talked again. We have Discord servers and a couple things like that. Don't know him as well as Vulcan, but definitely have chatted with him a couple different times. Can you please explain what the issue was? So with the 40, I think you might mean on Athalia. Is that what you're talking about, Carol? Let me know. How do I get more time emblems? Honestly, out of the shop. This is the place to get time emblems. And when you think of the time emblems, getting them out of the shop, getting them out of the Dream Store, getting them out of the Guild Store, getting them out of the Temple Rift, literally getting them out of every single piece of AFK Arena that you can get, including the Temple Rift. That is really the only way that you're going to get those, and you're going to be able to farm those, is out of here. Now I went again, pushed another 200 floors, got some resources, got some Twisted Essence right there, got some more cores, got some summons, everything that we need. But like I was saying, with those is going in here and buying out the cards. This is the exchange. So boom, we got 4 more time emblem cards. This is a massive, massive, I mean, honestly, simply massive income source when it comes to the time emblems and when it comes to the Stargazer scrolls. It makes a really big difference when you're building those out. Yeah, chapter 59 today. I am hoping that we are going to push it all the way to 59. And if you hear some ping pong balls behind me, we're actually testing for Science Olympiad. So you might see some kids running by in the background. Can I see your shirt? Oh, a crypto millionaire shirt. It says that it's loading, so we're waiting for it to load before we can hit that millionaire status. Yeah, that's my shirt, moneymaker. I think it's getting 40. So they're going to be reset. So that is the thing. It's going to be for the primary 4. So this is what they're doing. So if you have a hero in the primary 4, meaning not celestial, not dimensional, not hypo, and not awakened heroes. For instance, if I had right here, if I had him built all the way currently up to a 50, they're going to refund you the resources because those are all going to be an epic chest, which means that they're going to take him back to a 40. So if you have them at 45, if you have them at 50, they're taking them back to a 40 and refunding those essence. But then the hero is going to be stuck at a 40. That's the thing, is they're going to go back when they get reset, Carol, and they're going to go back to a 40. And that is it. Yeah, the biggest thing, just like what Shady said right there, the tower is the number 100% by far best place to get your Stargazer scrolls and also the time emblems, because you have the ability to farm all 6 towers. So essentially the 4 faction towers right here, Celestial Sanctum, Infernal Fortress, you have 6 ways to farm them. So even looking in the campaign right here, Brutus Citadel, World Tree, Forsaken Necropolis, even further down here, Tower of Light. That is the way, and that is the best and the fastest way, in my opinion, to really get those. Vulcan seems so nice, and I'm building Rem to the max furniture. Yeah, I've tried it with Vulcan. A couple different games, couple different things that we've done with AFK Arena. We even did the collaboration, couple that we've done now within the last couple years. So it's awesome to see, and he is doing great since the last time I talked to him. What's to improve there? Improve. I'm not sure what you mean, Amari. Let me know. As a free-to-play low, how recommendable is Eugene out of the Temple Rift? Eugene is expensive. So essentially Yellow is the best way to get him. And they've already confirmed, if you guys remember within the guild store, you're going to have the ability to get these copies of Eugene right here. And you're going to be able to get those copies of Eugene until you have them ascended at 5 stars. So literally, you're going to be able to build Eugene in his entirety out of here. If you're getting him out of the shop, again, I don't, and we really don't know the effectiveness of him. And that's kind of the catch-22 that we see right now, Yellow, is we don't know how effective he is. We haven't seen him built. We haven't seen him built in his capacity. We haven't seen him ascended. We haven't seen him with engraving. Niche formations, of course, where we've seen him kind of built out within the Fantastic Beasts and stuff like that. But overall, the effectiveness of the hero hasn't really been seen because we're not at a point where we can have him completely built out in his entirety so we can really catch it. Do you think AFK Arena 2 start from scratch with new mechanics will happen? Yes. So Apolloneer, so that's the reason why, and I got some questions about AFK Journey, why I haven't been playing it on a regular basis. They are resetting it. So that's the big thing. So with the accounts, if you have an account right now, and if you're building an account right now, you're going to have a reset. So AFK 2 or AFK Journey is going to launch globally the end of March. So we have about a month left before the global release of AFK Journey, which means that all of the accounts we have currently, all of the accounts I have as of today in AFK Journey are going to be the test server. So similar to what I do on AFK Arena, we play on the test server. That's exactly what it's going to stay, Apolloneer. The accounts we have built are going to be the test server and will remain on the test server. There is nothing going over. So when the global drops, when AFK Journey is a global release, that's it. That is going to be the global release for everybody, meaning those are going to be all of the live servers. Again, everything else is going to be and continue to stay as that test server. My Shamir is nearly finished, and I want to use Leica and Athalia for everything. I don't know which one I should go. If you have Chimera, if you have Like It, if you have Athalia, honestly, again, it depends, Yoshi, what you're looking at. For instance, with Lucius, and we know he is the newest Awakened hero that we have seen. Cursed Realm, he's doing well. The Nightmare Corridor, he's doing well. Treasure Scramble, he's doing well. I feel like as more players continue to build him, he's going to work well. But there is kind of niche formations that he's doing well in. But some of those he is coming best in slot because it's broken with this ability. So the big thing with this is the collections. Now, of course, when you look, attack rating is increased by defense rating. So thinking of some of the collections we have in here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. So the attack rating is 100% of the defense rating. Well, when you're going in here and you're building out these collections, you will notice when it comes to attack, the attack is pretty low. When it comes to the defense in here is super high. I'm trying to see where I can find one that I actually built red defense on, but you can stack defense on a collection while you're buffing up the attack of that collection and going in there, like right here, defense is 12.4 with an orange. And then looking at some of the attack ones, they are far less and far less utility with some of the attack ones because defense is going to be higher. Right here, red defense is 35%. Now think about that, guys. Right here, defense is 35%. When it comes to the buff, 35% right here, full attack. But where's a regular attack? I thought I literally just seen one. There's full attack. So remember, he's getting 35% defense. Red attack is 7.92. So even in the case of the Awakened version of Lucius, right here, 100% attack rating is increased by 100% of the defense rating. The defense rating on the collections is 35%, meaning with his SP effect, he is getting a 35% buff to the attack rating, which is kind of broken because remember, with the red in there, it's 7.92. You're getting a 35% because of the defense rating. You could even couple more attack rating on a tank relic. So if you get triple defense, if you get triple mythic defense, you know, with utilizing the cards and the tank relics, you can buff him up by 100% plus on the attack rating, which is just absolutely crazy. Kind of the build one. Check your Palmer, the armor to the tier 4. Oh, some of these guys I miss. Some of these I have tier stones literally just sitting on. But again, Palmer is a hero that has an incredible amount of utility. Temple Rift is there. Temple Beacon, what's level up? So Amari, the only one to level up and the only one that I do is building up is Trade Enhancer. Literally on my free-to-play account, I only build out Trade Enhancer. I do have these lower or a little bit higher just because we do the temporal feedback. So we get some bonuses out of here. But overall, the only thing and the one and only thing that I build in here is that Trade Enhancer, and it works all very, very well. I have pets to 12. Who should you build higher? So the couple to build higher, which still kind of in question, is where Ice Crown comes in. But Talisman works incredibly well. Slumbering Seal works well. The Owl works well. And then, of course, this is kind of the question of the one exactly how this is going to work. Because right here, 12 is really all you need for Ice Crown. But those are three very, very strong ones. Now, of course, Slumbering Seal should be the priority when it comes to having the extra damage in a lot of comp modes, even the stall comp modes. The Slumbering Seal is really the one that you want to build in its entirety, which works incredibly well. I mean, he's like that. He was best in slot in the last ABEX. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. My brother just started playing and finished the first Awakened Belinda, which Awakened hero. Free to play, honestly, between Athalia and probably Chimera, I would build Athalia. Again, when you look at utility-wise, Athalia works incredibly well, but you're going to find the same with Chimera. Chimera is another hero you're going to find in a ton of formations, working incredibly well. And of course, Athalia is best in slot for even some of the Temple Rift, but also some of the basics right here. Let's get into the summons. It'll be just a minute. We'll hop into the summons, but Twisted Realm, a lot of these are also running the same. It is running the Awakened version of Athalia in here as the best in slot. A lot of these are still Belinda. Some of these are also running Palmer or a combination, but we're looking at 16 trillion damage, which is insane. I mean, to think how far AFK Arena has come and how much we've really seen in there, which is kind of crazy. Specifically in the Iran formations in the campaign. What do you mean, Dean? I'm not sure what you mean. The base value of AFK and defense are two different. It doesn't make that much of a difference for Lucius. So that's what a lot of people were doing, Andre. So if you look at buffing up the defensive rating of Lucius, that is where we are seeing a lot of the damage being pulled out of here, is when it comes to the build of some of these heroes. They're getting some pretty interesting results. I don't know if he's actually in here for this iteration, but that's where they're min-maxing when it comes to the build of the Awakened version of Lucius. Again, it carries over the defensive stats into the strength that he sees here. And right here, 13.29 billion damage from a tank does incredibly well, again, just based on the build. And I wish we could see these on exactly what they're building with them. But again, you're able to really buff him up in a couple different game modes, which makes it pretty effective in there. Got my Light Bearer cards and 350 summons for Light Bearers. Oh yeah, that'd be very cool. Very, very cool. I'm 4 copies away from the 18 pet. Yeah, Beast Resonance 18, I really underestimated it for a long time. When we started getting and really being the competitive nature of AFK Arena, when I got to the point of building out my Beast to 18, and again, we focused them for about 3 months, but once we got to that point, it was an absolute game changer. When the Beasts were carrying me in a ton of different formations, honestly, I really underestimated the Beast and the effectiveness that we had with the Beast Resonance, but once I got them there, you're done. All of the Beasts going forward are going to be at 18, which is super awesome to see, because of course you get the animated avatars, but overall you're kind of done at that point with where they're at. The new Celestial being a replacement for Queen. We've seen it a couple places, Dean. So the other thing is, and there we go, there's a copy of Scarlet. We'll knock out some of these summons, all of our rares. With Valkyrie. So Valkyrie actually has the ability to not only crowd control, but I forget which ability it is. This is a counter in its entirety for the Awakened version of Chimera. So that's the big one, is when you start looking at the abilities, and this is where the PvP aspect is coming in with Valkyrie, is we're seeing it as one of the only counters for the Awakened version of Chimera, which is the reason why a lot of players are building her and why a lot of players are using her through a lot of different content, is that counter, because we really don't have many. And I don't think we can look at the treasure scramble because it's over. Yeah, we can. So that's why a lot of players have been building out and focusing on Valkyrie, which is right. I'm trying to see where Valkyrie is at in here. But it's been the counter, and one of the only counters that a lot of PvP players have said when it comes to building out the hero. For light spender around $200, what packages are the best? So personally, I like the cards. So I like the monthly cards. Now I know it's not the instant rewards you get out of here, but overall the monthly cards with the amount of chests you get in here, and then also picking up your extra time emblem in here, I would get them. Also the diamonds. The diamonds are pretty good in there as well. For a light spender, it does work very well. What do you think the priorities are for the Heroes of Espria chests? It really depends, Craig, on where you're at. So that's one of the big things is it depends what you need. So even looking, let's hop in here. We'll do a couple of our Heroes of Espria battles. So looking at the chests themselves, you really have a couple different things to look at. Is, are you building out, and do you have all of the primary heroes up to the E60 that you need? And also the red chest, when it comes to building out the plus 30s, the 35s and the 40s, do you have these signature items built up to where you need them to have? Depending on the answer to that question is kind of the way to go. Because when you look at primordial amplifying, you can get them with gold. Pull coins you can get with gold. Shards you can get with gold. These we get every single 2 days. But when it comes to cores, when it comes to red chests, they are the limited supply. So all of these chests should be used in their entirety, getting one of these two things. And again, you can't really go wrong with either one of them, for the simple fact that we're going to have new heroes. We're going to have new awakened heroes. We know more celestial hypos, the light bearers are coming. Both of these you are going to need infinitely and forever based on any point of the game. you are always going to use them, and they're never going to stop. There's never going to point where you're going to have too many of them or have a lot of them that you can't use at all in their entirety. Is there any max level pets? Do we stop at level 18? So Duckface, I do. So the max level for pets is 36. That is right, guys. If you've seen the beast level goes to 36. I stop at 18. 18 really, Duckface, is where you want to go and where you kind of want to stop. And then I'm building them up naturally as we get baits from all of our different events, as we get, a lot of different, heroes, a lot of different beasts, new beasts introduced. Once you hit 18, I'm just slowly building all of the other ones with baits that we're getting, not really focused on the ones that we do have in there. What is going on, Jordan? Thanks for joining us for the live stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Yes, definitely, Winnie. We actually have a volleyball tournament this afternoon with my daughter, so it's going to be really cool. It's a first volleyball tournament. Even though it's a little bit of a distance away, we are definitely ready to go. Is there an Awakened PvP guide? Not really, Blue Crimson. And the thing is, when you look at PvP and the Awakened heroes, they're used everywhere, period. That's it. When you think of a guide for that PvP aspect, they are used everywhere. There's no formation that can't use an SP effect of an Awakened hero. It really goes there. For the pets, would you resonate 9, 12, 15, 18, or skip 12 and go? Personally, I go to 12. Yep. And that's what a lot of people, just like what Marco said right there. I built to 12. Even on my free-to-play account, I built to 12 and then taking them to 18. Now, systematically or over time, Winnie, you're going to get them to 18. I know it's going to take an incredible amount of baits, but once you get to 12, that is kind of the baseline with where you want your beast to be at. Because if we get new beasts, even looking at Ice Crown that came out, with the new beast coming to AFK Arena like Ice Crown, it works incredibly well at a very, very fundamental level with having all of those unlocked. It works. Once you hit 18, kind of forget about the beast. Yeah, and that's it. Until the point where they do raise them a little bit more, like what Trisha said. 18, I quit claiming baits from any chest at all once I hit that beast level or the beast resonance 18. Then again, it's just kind of building what you get. Really doing my summons. Again, a couple of the primary beasts, when you look at the Slumbering Seal, when you look at the Owl, when you look at a few of those, they do work incredibly well in a bunch of different game modes. And again, it's going to be a slow build for all of those as well. It's just going to take time. And that's really it. The Awakened PvP guide. Yeah, exactly. And Shady hit it right on the head. Yeah, Awakened PvP is have the Awakened heroes. And if you really want to say the Awakened PvP, building them up to that 80 engraving to be competitive, that's why we have a couple that are built up a little bit higher, is the other part of the competitive nature of PvP. And honestly, guys, we say this a lot, is when it comes to PvP, it is super pay to win. It has always been in almost 5 years of AFK Arena. It has always been very, very heavy pay to win when it comes to PvP in every single game. Thanks for answering. As a free-to-play, I want to know what gives more stats than the other. SI 50 or engraving to 80 or other 82. Honestly, free-to-play, I wouldn't build any Duckface. When you start looking at the 50 SI, you can build 3 other heroes to a 40. Even if you look at the engraving 80 or 100, you can build another 3 heroes up to that 60 engraving. As free to play, I wouldn't recommend building anyone kind of past that minimum or past that maximum level because the cost is not there. Even on my account where I'm just a light spender, we keep it around $100. But overall, I wouldn't go any further because the cost to the return is not there. You're not going to have a hero, especially if you're investing, let's say, an SI 50 and you're doing engraving at a very high level like we've seen a lot of players do with Eins. And then you look, a year down the road where you're not even using the hero at all, yet all of your resources and everything is just waiting for a reset. I don't overinvest. I would rather have a bunch of heroes built up to, the plus 30 signature item, the maxed out furniture, also the engraving to really make a difference versus having just one hero that is super, super focused. And of course, the big reason for that is the multitude of game modes. When you look at the Twisted Realm, when you look at the Temporal Rift, when you look at the Nightmare Corridor, the Treasure Scramble, you know, when you look at everything in its entirety, having those built out much higher, or having a lot more heroes that you can have in there, is the big difference when it comes to building those out. Of course, we're just kind of moving through here pretty easy. I know based on my account and how much we have built and how high we have it built, even based on the level, I mean, we're still roughly, what, 15 to 20 levels above everyone else that we're facing. So it's pretty easy to make progression in here. And again, just based on the build, I'll get up to Masters probably in the next couple days. And then from there, we'll just try to stay in that top 2,000 to get some more resources and get some more stuff out of there. But we're focusing on building out another few. New code. There might be a new code up there if you guys haven't caught it. Glad you made the live stream. Thank you, Gazi. Yes, it is a live stream. Let's go ahead. Let's knock out some of these summons. Now, of course, with summons, we do the summons all the time. Looking at our scrolls, looking at everything we have in here. Now, of course, for the desired hero summons in here, we're going to wait till we get the new Lightbearer hero. And again, we know over probably the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to get some more diamonds. I'm going to use all 8 of my chances right here. Now, of course, with 8 chances to get the Lightbearer hero, if I summon all 8, that automatically takes the hero to Ascended. I get 8 summons in here because of the VIP level. A lot of players always ask exactly why I get so many summons in here. That is because of the VIP level that we do possess, meaning we are going to get extra summons. But again, we're going to have the summons. Hopefully we can get an Awakened hero, maybe a Celestial or a Hypo that we can add another copy on, is really what we're looking for, which there's a copy of Guineas. Guineas is already at, I believe, 2 stars, but we're just building him up again little by little. There's a copy of Hogan. Rest of the heroes that we already have kind of built, we just recycle. It is really a non-stop churning machine of recycling heroes for, of course, for the hero coins. When we get more hero coins, we just go ahead and we build essentially more heroes out of there, but we're also power leveling our Elder Tree, which makes a really big difference. So again, everything else we're going to save. Now in here in Valkyrie, we already have at 1 star, and look at that, Berserk Guts, 30,000 diamonds. That is an awesome pull, but we're going to save our cards. Temple of Time, we're at 230 already. Again, we're saving these cards as well to see. How's everything? What? Sono Rez? I haven't seen Sono Rez in forever. How are you doing, brother? For the faction towers being the source of the time emblems, would you please show us what are your teams? So the big thing, Duckface, is in here is when it comes to the towers, this account might be a little bit different than yours, Duckface, because I have everyone built. So literally when we go through the factions themselves, even looking here at our Lightbearer, I have Belinda, I have Lucius, I have Thane. We have all of the heroes. We have every hero except the Awakened version of Aziz built in here. So again, your Tower of Light, the easiest way to do this is right here. The formations, what is recommended? Because it's always going to give me a really good list of recommended formations. You can also pop over and see the popular formations. But of course, this is going to be, which Lucius Duck, maybe that is Duckface, maybe. But overall, this is going to give me everyone that I have in here. And there we go. There's a combination with Thane. There's a combination with Belinda. A lot of these do not have at this point the Awakened version of Lucius, because again, these might have been copied or completed, which there we go. There's one right there. But a lot of these have been completed before that Awakened version of Lucius. So again, there's a lot of heroes. And of course, when it comes to the tower, it is about the Awakened heroes, guys. If you want to carry, if you want to make a lot of progression in here, super easy when it comes to the Awakened heroes, because they are by far and away the strongest heroes in AFK Arena. That's really, no, that's not me. So that is not Duckface in there. But Sono Rez, what has been going on? Again, I know we've done a couple streams. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything is doing well with you. Is the new hero good, Gazi? It's going to take time. So I feel like the new hero is going to be very niche. Of course, you could probably use the new hero within the Lightbearer Tower. Again, just limitations with heroes. But overall, it doesn't seem like the new hero is going to be a very, very big, fast priority to build kind of right off the bat. but we're going to have to see what the impact is with the Curse Realm and the Nightmare Corridor with the new hero is going to be the new one. And I don't know, Empire? Hello, Hippo. Yeah, thanks for joining us for the stream. Don't know what it says in the front. It looks like symbols over here. But let's hop in, guys. I want to push some more of the campaign. Let's see if we can finish this before the time is up in here. Now, ascend some heroes in the Temple of Ascension. We do this every week. We usually get through this pretty quick. And I believe that might be another star, which it is for Guineas. Now, I did engrave Guineas up to the 30, but that takes Guineas to 3 stars. He right now is the last light bearer that we have. That's it. So again, we can go through in a little bit. We can recycle those. I have been chasing Cats Go Meow, which we actually I think we're just about past Cats Go Meow. Shout out to a venture run for a guildie in there. We'll go ahead. I'll answer some questions. This, I just put on auto battle. It is the easiest way to get through here, guys. Very, very important that you're pushing the campaign. Again, just the resource generation. That's the big thing with this one. If you can come in here, if you can continue making progression on a regular basis, not only is it giving you a little bit of diamonds, but you also do pick up a couple cores in there. And of course, if you're not at, I believe it is chapter 44 now. I think it's 44 for the Misty Valley. We know the Misty Valley again is coming back on repeat again, which you have to get the loot out of there. There is so much loot in so many events within AFK Arena. You just got to push progression, which is kind of crazy. With 6+ Awaken per year, I'm worried they will be nothing special. Yeah, and that's kind of it, Marco, is with the amount of heroes that they're putting out. So we have our Awakened heroes, we have our regular heroes, we have our dimensional heroes that are coming out, we have the crossovers that are coming. There is so much just going on with AFK Arena in general. I know that's what a lot of players have kind of talked about is it seems like they used to be special, but now we're looking at 3 years of Awakened heroes. Don't know how it's going to change. We also don't know what's coming. We don't know what is coming to AFK Arena, what new game modes are coming out, what we're going to see in the future of what this game could hold. It's going to take time. We're going to have to see, Marco. But of course, guys, this is still a game that I have a ton of fun with. And it's simple and it's easy. And honestly, just running one account for me works incredibly well. I've went back and forth, played the free-to-play account a little bit, not as much as we used to. But overall, going through here and spending a little bit more time fine-tuning some of my progression in here gave me the ability, again, to score a little bit better in the Treasure Scramble, getting a little bit better in a couple different game modes, has really made the big difference to the progression and the rewards we're getting out of here. And I feel like if we keep focusing and keep putting the effort in there, we're going to see the exact same thing, is we're going to have it. So not much since I've left. So many new heroes, the Gallery SI. Oh, I know. And that's it, so no res. And that's why, like I've said before, if you guys follow my finance channel, definitely hop over there, watch a video or two, sub to the channel. But that is why I put a price tag, and that is why we budget for exactly what we put in here, so no res, is that's the problem. Is if you're into, and of course, it's literally just a black hole of progression, so no res. And again, that's why I limit it. And a lot of players ask that as well. Yes, we limit what we put into AFK Arena because if you want to put 50 bucks, 100 bucks, great. If you can afford it, great. If you can't, stay free to play. But I can see some players that are 100, 500, 1,000 plus. I mean, I've seen people that have put thousands of dollars a month. If you remember back to casuals, if you remember some of the absolute biggest players of AFK Arena was that exact thing. Is they were putting, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into AFK Arena every month. And it was literally, it is just the black hole of progression because you're competing against everyone else. It's, and ultimately the way that I see it, Sonorez, is regardless of what we put into AFK Arena, when you leave AFK Arena, that's it. You are leaving everything you had. Good luck if, some players, I've seen some people trying to sell accounts and stuff like that, but most of it is just going to be what it is. I walked away from games that I put a lot of money into, and when you leave, that's what it is. What collections for Lucilla again? It depends on the game mode. Build out both of them, Lucilla. And it depends on the game mode that you're running, where PvP wise, if she's in the treasure scramble, you're wearing something different than if you're running her in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. So you need both. You need both of the collections on there because, again, it's going to change depending on where you're at. Does Divine Defense skill of Palmer, bottom right, good on high deficient levels? And which two heroes? He focused on a team that are chosen by random. Let me see. So good on high deficiency level. Which two heroes to focus on a full team, or are they chosen by random? I'm not sure what you mean, Duckface. So I know the Defined Defense skill with Palmer on the bottom right, good on high level deficiencies. So a lot of them are crowd control. So when you start talking level deficiencies, similar to this, there's really two things when you get into high level deficiencies. Number one, do you have the immunity? Do you have the ability to keep the heroes alive? If you don't have immunity to the damage, kind of what we see with Ulna, do you have the ability to have crowd control? So that is the only way, period, that you're gonna get to this point to where, what are we, 300-400 level deficiency? The only way you're gonna get to this point is crowd control. That's really the big part of this, is having the ability to crowd control the opponent, because the majority of times, if the opponent hits me with the level deficiency, with the power changes, it's usually one hit. It might be two hits, but mostly it is one single hit. If I get hit one time, that's it. It's game over in there. So Flora hit Matria. Matria's dead in literally one hit. Makes a big difference. Should I SI30 Althus or Trishia first? Honestly, it's kind of interesting because I'm not seeing Trishia in a lot of different places as of right now, Winnie. So as much as I like Althus, but I don't know, is Althus the one that really, really needs the plus 30 signature item? Now the big thing is with Althus is Althus will work without being built. So the crowd control, the tanking aspect, that will work incredibly well with Althus. If you want Trishia to do damage, so if you're using her in formations, if you're using her in the Wilder Tower, 100% Trishia has to be built. Biggest change that I seen with Trishia is when I actually took her to the 60 engraving. That was the game changer. When I put stats behind Trishia, she worked incredibly well. And of course, tower progression still going to work very, very well. But yeah, I'm wondering, let me see. Let me try this one more time. I want to look at Althus. And again, just off the top of my head, I'm not remembering exactly what that signature item says. And of course, this is going to be a super random battle in here. But looking at our Wilder tank, which he is right. And I'm wondering if they're putting him in formations. Right there he is. So looking at the plus 30, enemies, let's expand this a little. So enemies within the range of Beast Cage are unable to use their ultimate skill while under spiritual stagnation. Again, that could be kind of situational. But overall, again, I wouldn't see that as being an absolute game changer for that one, just for the fact that, again, he's going to work without it. It is really the good one. I remember when people used Arthur and PvP. Yeah, Arthur used to be huge. Trishia is best in slot in Nightmare Corridor. So there you go. So just like what Marco said, and that's what I thought. I didn't know exactly where Trishia was being used. I know there were a lot of formations built around Trishia a while ago. But overall, again, when you look at a hero like Trishia, if you don't have the hero built out, if you don't have the signature item, if you don't have the engraving on Trishia, the damage isn't there. That is one of the really big focuses and one of the really big reasons why we focus on the damage factor that we see within your damage dealing heroes. They have to be built out, and they have to be built out high if you really want the effectiveness of their abilities to really shine through. That's, again, the reason why when it comes to the Awakened heroes, when it comes to Rem, when it comes to the Awakened version of Belinda, the higher you build her, the better she's going to perform because of the damage. Needs E30 only 2, so very cheap. Yeah, when you're looking at the cost of chests, now that we've been getting quite a few more chests, and I thought Panda Dumpty was going to get that one done. And again, this is how we make progression. Big level deficiencies, guys. It's going to take a long time to get the RNG factor to click in here. but when it does, it happens flawlessly and it will work perfectly in here. It just takes time. What is the minimum build for Kren for the Mauler Tower? Honestly, kind of the same. Asta is you're going to have it in the higher you build him, the better he's going to perform. That's the big thing. Like we kind of said. Now, Kren, of course, is a hero that might not be worth a huge investment right now. But again, Mauler Tower, if you're building him specifically for the Mauler Tower, the higher that you build out the hero, the better damage you're going to get, the better performance you're going to get out of Kren. He used to go hand in hand and run with our buddy Raku. Kind of used to work together, and they would. It's the annoying Kalthar. His spirit keeps killing me. Yeah, I know it's kind of RNG in here, Trisha. We can make a lot of adjustments, but honestly, the time and effort to get this done, we'll go through. We have about another 15 minutes here, but I love being able to just let this run and answer out the questions. Answer out a lot of the questions. Now, of course, this is going to be the double retaliation that we need. Most of the time, one retaliation will kill the team. The second retaliation will kill Flora, and then Matria just comes up as kind of a backup in here. There we go. So Flora's down. And again, Kalthar killed me. And that's what the spiritual or the specter Kalthar keeps killing out Matria. I seen it right there. Are the collections stable when you select them in Treasure Scramble, or will they change on the collection? So that's a big part. So the collections are what is on there for the Treasure Scramble. They need to update and they need to fix that Treasure Scramble to make the adjustments for the collections in there. Still waiting to see exactly what that kind of looks like. What's going on, Marvin? Thanks for joining us. I can happily say I've never used the Thorn Cheese. Oh, you're missing out, Brian. It is one of the absolute most pain in the butt formations that we've ever seen. But yes, the Thorn Cheese is just that, guys. It is the Thorn Cheese. And again, if we can get that second retaliation in there, I feel like we're going to get it. Does Ain's SI40 brought him back to meta? No, not at all, Duckface. So unfortunately, a lot of players that have built out Ain's, even building him out to a much higher, so getting that SI to 40, the power creep, he is so far behind with the power creep, with the damage that he can put out in reference to where the other heroes are. Not even close. Why does Lilith hate them all? So it's pretty funny that you say that, Yellow Life, because it has always been. If you guys have played AFK Arena for a considerable amount of time, like most of us have, the Maulers have always been the worst faction, and they bless them with Life Leech, which again, even thinking earlier game, Life Leech was just an absolute joke because Life Leech doesn't work for heroes that are shielded. So literally the ability to go in there and use the Mauler faction, even for the tower progression, if you remember old Mauler Tower, it was a nightmare trying to get anything done with the tower progression because of how they built out the Maulers. They could make adjustments, but they don't. Do we know if Eugene will be available for stargazing? So as of right now, Shady, we don't. I haven't seen anything that says that Eugene is going to be available. Now we know that he is staying in the guild store, which is awesome to see that he is going to be in there. But overall, we're going to have to see exactly what it is. Yeah, Flora, Kalthar, Thorin, Marco is the ultimate killer. This one, and I'm sure even if we go down a lot of these formations, you're probably going to see even Cat's Meow right there. GXS, exactly the same. So we got the same formation in there with Panda Dumpty. In here is the exact same formation. Even going down to some of the really big players, a lot of times, which there's Shamira, look at that. 985, level 985 with a level 27. So that just powered over the ability to actually get through there, which is kind of crazy. Now, again, I know it's going to take some time to get through here, but I'm okay with it. Even looking in here, yeah, formation's going to change up. It just takes a matter of time before the RNG here does work. If you have that mage collection for Matria at 3, the cheat death will make it even easier. I think I do. I think I have a lot of different collections in here. I'm wondering. Oh, the cheat death in here for Matria. Let's see what she's wearing. Because I think we have... Oh, see, they're using all of the old school. I'm hoping this isn't going to mess with it. But I believe it is this one. No, that's the charm. The other one is... No, the cheat death for Matria. Yeah, that's the more damage. So again, I'm not sure if this is going to mess with it in there, Trisha. Yeah, I have the Mage Collection at 3, which is MP. No, I don't. Maybe I don't have that Mage Collection at 3. I have this one, which when the holder takes, yeah, right here. Sacrifice the... Let's put it on. Let's see what it does. We'll drop it on there. Now, that's the one, of course, we built out for the Abyssal Expedition. That was the big one. Let's see if it makes a big difference. And again, Matria stayed alive right there. Boom, there's one cheese. We'll see. We'll let it. Yeah, the purple one, the Matria one, or Mahira one. I sent it back again after mistakenly deleting my... Oh, it's all right, Duckface. I know it happens. But again, let's see, guys. We might be able to get this one done. Just taking time. But yeah, the Maulers, yeah, they need to get the Awakened version of our boy Nemitsu. That's what we're waiting for. I know a lot of players have kind of commented on it. That's what I want to see, is the Awakened version of Nemitsu with some massive giant totems in there that are going to work incredibly well. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see if that's going to be an option. And again, I don't know. See, Thorin, I don't know if it's going to throw off the retaliation with having that in there, Trisha. Because, of course, we're missing a little bit of the energy that we get out of there. Because there, see, we're not getting that retaliation. Might have to swap back to Duras. And, of course, when it comes to Duras, the class-specific artifacts have been replaced by collections. Even the basic ones have kind of been the same. I hope the next Mauler is busted. Yeah, me too. What is going on, Wayne? Thanks for joining us for the live stream. Yeah, I'm hoping the same. I'm hoping the next Mauler is completely busted. That would be very cool to see if we have the ability. And again, I hope it's Nemitsu. I feel like for all the time and effort that Nemitsu has put into AFK Arena, I feel like we need to see it. We need to see Nemitsu in there. And there we go, guys. I didn't want to forget this before we're done with stream. So gifting the membership goes out to one lucky individual that is in the stream. And Asta gets a membership. Congratulations, which is awesome. And a haste buff. There you go. So I want to see a haste buff in there. I want to see a bunch of different stuff with Nemitsu. And I want to see him with a bunch of different totems, which would be absolutely amazing to see if they went in there and had a bunch of different totems in there that had a bunch of different effects. And then, of course, like the SP effect could go ahead and put some more totems in there. I'm so far behind we can't even see it. Yeah, and there we go. Retaliation triggered there. So we only got one retaliation. Let me see. Let me swap back again. And I'm hoping within the next couple minutes we can get this done. Because again, we'll swap back to that again. Got it again. Look at that, the little hippo right there. If it's Nemitsu, I hope they make him a mage. That's what I was thinking. So I know a lot of players, Life, were saying, and they were kind of questioning if they make Nemitsu a mage. I feel like they could make him kind of like what we've seen with a lot of different heroes, where they could be kind of the mage support role. I think for me, that would really do it. If they made Nemitsu a mage that literally had totems that could buff up a lot of different things. It would even be cool if with the totems, you could make different totems. You could combine the totems. I think there's a way that they could make him super broken and really cool. But overall, I hope it's Nemitsu. And I feel like if they do some, like if they do K-Sauce, I feel like it's not going to have the same effect. I feel like I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if we see like a K-Sauce in there. If we see some of the older Maulers that nobody really ever used, I think it's going to be a little bit disappointed, which that's the reason why I'm really hoping that it is going to be Nemitsu. And look at that, guys. We got a brand new subscriber to the channel. Thank you for subbing to the channel. I believe we're almost to 37, maybe 38. So it's kind of crazy how far we're coming with our subscribers on the channel, but it is awesome to see. Again, we're going to have to figure out this formation. I know it's going to work, but it's the difference between running it 100 times or 1,000 times just based on the formation. If I let it run, it is going to work. It is just going to take a long time, which that's B, I can't even pronounce the name. Not even going to try to butcher that one, because most of you know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, my pronunciation is absolutely horrendous when it comes to names. Even get the same comments on the finance channel, absolutely horrendous with the pronunciation of names. And I knew going into AFK Arena and going into YouTube that it was going to be the same. Yeah, and that's the other thing, is a lot of players are saying also that K-Sauce would be the Awaken, would be fire. I worry if they make him and if they build him that he's not going to be effective. I feel like just to really kick us in the face, Retro, that we'd actually have the ability, or we'd see him, they would make K-Sauce an Awakened hero and he would still be garbage, and then everyone be super happy that they don't have to build him, but also super disappointed that they went with that. And look at that, guys, subscribers popping up everywhere now. We have Zane, we have Per Asperia de Estrada. Thank you for subbing to the channel. So look at that. We usually shoot for 5 every single live stream. That is 3 right in a row, which is awesome. And then, of course, the gifting of the membership. I love doing that every time. It gives me the ability to actually get back to you guys and give out those subscriptions. So we got a couple more minutes here. If you got questions, definitely pop them in the chat. We'll cover some of them. And, of course, Thorin not getting it done, which is funny because a lot of times Thorin won't get it done, and then I'll go ahead and I'll stop the video or I'll stop the recording, and boom, it'll come right back and we'll actually see Thorin finish it in 1 or 2 attempts. Even last time I did a live stream, we ended the live stream. Then Thorin literally did the retaliation like he should have. As soon as the live stream ended, it went through and it completed. And look at that, Pluto, welcome as a Hippo supporter. Like I said earlier, Pluto, we'll take a look at it. I'll figure out. I'm going to be doing a viewer summons, and I want to do it live so we can actually plan it out. I know Pluto and I kind of talked about it a little bit, but I definitely want to get up and figure out exactly how we're going to do this viewer summons, and I love doing them live. It is so very cool to be able to do the viewer summons on a live aspect, which is awesome. I love that. That I call K-Sauce, K-Sauce. Yeah. So the Ka SOS, and again, I know there's a lot that are very, very tough pronunciations in there, Winnie, and that is one of them. That's why some of them, like K-Sauce, I've literally just stayed with it, and I know Vulcan did the exact same. But we talked about some of the names and the funny pronunciations of some of them. Also, a lot of heroes in AFK Arena have very similar sounding or very similar names, which makes it super confusing. Like Lucretia being Lucy, and then they released Lucilla. So again, it's kind of interesting with some of the overlap within the names themselves, and it's confusing. For a lot of players, it's super confusing. And look at that, Filippo, we have another one right there. Thank you for subbing to the channel. I think that's 4 new subscribers to the channel, which is awesome. I know AFK Arena has been running a lot of advertisements. I know we've seen a lot of new players to AFK Arena. In addition, we know the 5th anniversary. That is right. The 5th anniversary is right around the corner, guys, meaning that we're going to have a lot of promotions. And I'm hoping, and I know you guys are as well, a lot of people are hoping that we're going to have the ability to have a crossover in conjunction with the 5th anniversary. I think that would make it just absolutely mammoth when it comes to the ability to not only celebrate the 5th anniversary, which if you play a couple other games, like I believe that Raid just had the 5th anniversary, made it huge. That's exactly how we need to do it. And also with the 5th anniversary, interesting, it's going to be the 5th anniversary is right around the time of AFK Journey. So we're going to be covering some AFK Journey as well. But again, the official release date for AFK Journey is going to be the end of March. So again, we have about a month till we're going to be seeing a lot more content from AFK Journey, because essentially that's going to be the point when the game is going to go global with the release, which is going to be awesome. Can you pronounce my name? Ilsaid M, because L-E-L-L El-Sayed? Maybe that's pronunciation. Hope for JoJo collaboration. I know, in a lot of players, if you've seen, yeah, there we go. So a lot of them, yeah, Titus and Titus, which again, Titus and Titus. I guess Zolthamis is the one there. Yeah, Iran and Orin. Exactly. That's some of the pronunciation. I'm like, out of everything that we could think of, we can't have the pronunciations a little more fluid, which would make a big difference. Not too long ago, started an account, but I'm starting to get trouble with getting food to carry up the heroes. Honestly, it just takes time. When it comes to an AFK game, doing the rotation, so going through pushing your campaign progression, then going to the towers, then going to any other content out there, it is literally just a cycle that we're going through when it goes out there. This is how you say it. Al-Sayyid. Al-Sayyid. Yeah, again, yeah, my pronunciation probably very, very big off. Honestly, the Signet would be sweater for an Awaken swap. Yeah, I wanted to see, and the way that we wanted to see it, and I know Trisha and I had talked about this, is I wanted to see them do resets. And I'm hoping that when it comes to the 5th anniversary, we're going to see some resets, because essentially with the swaps is you can swap one hero to another hero. Okay, that's great. But if you don't have a hero to build, you're kind of stuck with not getting those resources back. That is why, again, I want to see resets. And we talked about this a while over on Discord, is the resets make a big difference, because you can actually go through and reset and save all of the resources that you're getting there, instead of just using them, again, as a swap to another hero. Because even now, if I have a basic hero I'm swapping, I'm probably going to swap it to the new Lightbearer hero, just because I don't have anyone to swap. All the heroes that I have at a plus 30 signature item or higher are heroes that I intentionally built to that plus 30 or higher signature item. So it's kind of, it's Latin per Sarah, and Astera means through thorns to stars. Oh, very cool. That is awesome. Yeah, live stream is a little bit uncandid. It's very cool to see, but I love the meaning. Through thorns to stars. I really like that. That's really cool. Swapping, yeah, Matria to Shamira, definitely. Plenty of names. Yeah, and that's it. So Zolthamis, we know when it comes to AFK Arena and the heroes, they take about 6 months to build the heroes. So who is K-Sauce? I'll show you K-Sauce, guys. Since again, I don't feel like, watch, this will probably be the one time we finish this. I'll show you K-Sauce and exactly why it's always kind of come up as K-Sauce. But here is our lonely, nobody used K-Sauce. Right there, there is K-Sauce. Unfortunately, I didn't even build his signature item. They've stayed at level 1. And the big thing with him is he has Life Leech. So right here, Rabid Thirst. Now, of course, when you think of AFK Arena, again, kind of thinking big picture, Life Leech is horrible. So this entire stat right here, because if anyone is shielded, Wayne, Life Leech does nothing. So literally, they have it built into not only the Elder Tree with the Warrior class, but when you look at this, even earlier game when they started doing a lot of the shielding heroes, Life Leech did nothing, unfortunately, and it still kind of does nothing. Not only one, they don't do enough damage to have an effective Life Leech, but overall, if a hero is shielding, there is nothing in there. Is it cheating to use trial heroes because they use Lucian? No, not at all. Guys, when it comes to the trial heroes, really farm the heck out of the towers. Anything that is coming out of there, yes, absolutely. Go ahead and farm those. Are they going to introduce a furniture swap? Sooner or later. Sooner or later, I think they should. We should definitely see a furniture swap. Again, I would love if they didn't do the swap, if we literally just seen the reset. That would be awesome if we just seen a reset where, again, you could reset a hero, you could get some of the resources back. That would be ideal. Now, unfortunately, Worm has been away for 5 days, so I'm going to terminate the relationship. So if anybody needs an apprentice or if anyone needs someone in application, you can go ahead and drop that in here and we will take care of it. But all right, guys, so that is going to be our time for the live stream on Sunday. And again, most of you know I love doing the live streams. It is very, very cool. I wish the Awakened Lucius gave us 3 bars of shields. Yeah, when you look at a tank like Aethys and seeing how effective he is, I feel like they really did a big, big disservice when it came to Lucius and the way that he built it. But all right, guys, got to get back to testing the Science Olympiad. I think I hear them getting ready with the ping pong balls out there. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for live stream. It's always awesome to be able to chat to you guys and talk about the game that all of us love. We got a lot more videos that are coming, a lot more guides that are coming. And of course, the new heroes are going to be right up in here Tuesday. So tomorrow will be the patch. Tuesday will be the new hero that is up. So of course, wait to build them. Wait about, again, 7 to 10 days to see exactly how they're going to work, how effective they're going to be before we go ahead and build them. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for live stream. Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. And as always, thank you guys for watching.